Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the match on WWE 2K25. We start the day off with some tag team action as the Bullet Club War Dogs, Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors, take on War Machine, or the Viking Raiders, the Viking Experience, War Raiders, whatever they're called these days in WWE, Hanson and Rowe, or Erik and Ivar. So this match stems back from last week when we did have Clark Connors going one-on-one against Hangman Adam Page. And in that match, for some reason, the game decided that Ivar of the Viking Raiders should interfere and attack Clark Connors, which in the end ended up costing Clark Connors the match. Because of that, and because of the fact that the War Raiders were a very big part of Ring of Honor for a chunk of time, it made perfect sense for us to book this match. Why the hell not? Let's have a quick look then at these guys in the ranking system. So Clark Connors currently have had 3 matches so far in the Universe mode, 1 in 2024 and 2 this year, and has lost all 3 of those matches, currently sits on -3. Drilla Maloney then, he has had 1 match back in 2024, which is the only match this tag team has had in the past, which again, they were on the losing side, and as you may have guessed, as a tag team, 1 match, 1 loss back last year, so -1 overall. And then we look into Erik and Ivar. So first of all, Ivar, otherwise known as Hanson, 7 matches in the past, currently sits on 0. Erik, 7 matches in the past, currently sits on 0. And you're not going to believe this, as a tag team, 7 matches in the past, currently sits on 0. So, you know, big opportunity here then for both these teams to sort of elevate themselves. I mean, War Machine, I'm surprised. I just completely forgot they were a thing, to be honest. They've been in WWE for a while, but they just don't seem to have ever done much. And I did really like them, especially in NXT and that. They're just... I just don't think WWE really enjoy tag teams that much, to be honest. And they're just a really cool tag team, in my opinion. It's just the old-fashioned gimmick style I quite like as well, really. And here we are then, underway, both teams desperate for the victory. I mean, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney will be desperate to pick up their first ever victory in SWE. And when it comes to War Machine, there'll be a team that'll be thinking they want to be involved higher up the card. And of course, they'll be involved next week as part of when Worlds Collide as well. So, I mean, if they can start to pin together a few victories in a row, who knows? They might just about force their way into a title picture. Rowe now wheeling Clark Connors back up to his feet. I'm going to try and go by the WWE names because that's how people know them, but just in my mind, they're still Rowe and they're still Hanson, to be honest. But so Erik is Rowe and Ivar is Hanson. So it's Ivar in the ring at the moment now with Drilla Maloney. Maloney now turning Ivar over with the single leg Boston Crab, but Ivar, superior strength, especially in the legs, able to take him out. Lovely spinning sidewalk, ended up being a front slam in the end, to be honest. Looking to spear off the apron. Remember, this is standard Tornado Tag Team rules, so there basically is no rules at this point. No countouts, no disqualification, because that's for some reason the way the game likes to work Tornado matches. First pinfall and submission will be the winner. However, it has to take place inside the ring. I'm thinking they're doing a 6-man tag next week, utilising the Viking Raiders with Vikingo. I just thought it'd be an interesting sort of mixture. The 2 big powerhouse Vikings with the high-flying Viking. I just need to try and figure out a decent opponent. Maybe the Psycho Circus, Monster Clown, Psycho Clown, and the other clown. Pinned now by Maloney on Ivar, not enough. Clark Connors with the strikes now into Erik. And this is a pretty even match in my opinion. I think ratings-wise, both teams are pretty much rated the same. So I don't think we're going to see too many, like, well, whoever wins this is not going to be a shock, let's face it. There's the clubbing blows into the spine. Now Erik taking Clark Connors onto the shoulder. Drilla Maloney's been dropped on the outside. It's a chance here to a bit of 2-on-1 action. A springboard back elbow attempt there by Ivar. He missed it, then Drilla Maloney comes in with the steel chair right across the face. As now Erik Maloney was able to save him. Ivar now dropping Clark Connors neck first across the top rope as a pinfall attempt there by Erik on Drilla Maloney wasn't enough, only enough for the 2 count. Clark Connors taking him down from behind. Face first there, slammed into the mat by Ivar. Drilla Maloney taking up Erik with a backbreaker. Look at Ivar just slamming the back of the head of Clark Connors into the mat. And a super kick there by Drilla Maloney taking down Ivar. Look at the step up Insuguri now. And Erik's starting to feel it. And both of them went after Drilla Maloney. Both of them missed. That was quite embarrassing, to be honest. They both dived straight in there. I don't know why Erik just went for a double axe handle on a guy that was already laying down. It seemed a bit pointless, to be honest. Ivar now, though, getting tripped over by Clark Connors. Drilla Maloney taking the chair out of the hands of Erik. Now dropping the DDT onto the steel chair. But he's straight back up, no-sells it. Ivar now taking Maloney up. Maloney slid out the back. Went for the chop. It was ducked and another DDT onto the steel chair. And again, he didn't sell it, though. He's back up. Ivar now taking Drilla Maloney up onto the top rope. Drilla with the boot into the face. Ivar now just raking the face of Drilla Maloney across the top rope and springs him back in. The back of his head hit that steel chair. There's the pin. Clark Connors is down and out on the outside. It's still only enough for a 2 count, though. That running knee strike attempt there by Erik. Oh! I love throwing a chair in this game. But Maloney's back up. Look at that spear runs straight through Erik. And he's, oh, he nearly had him. But Clark Connors, I think, got taken down. Drilla Maloney now taken up. Whoa, oh, dropped him with that pile driver. Clark Connors has control of Ivar. This could be the chance. No. Ivar runs straight through Clark Connors with a clothesline. Went for Drilla Maloney, who got out the way, and the referee took the brunt of that clothesline. Oh, Drilla Maloney just launching the ring steps down onto the ground at Ivar. Maloney re-enters the ring. Erik went for him. Maloney was able to avoid it. He was looking for some sort of pile driver. It was avoided. I think his referee's down and out here at the moment. Not much he can do. Maloney now round the back, boot in the back, and there's a strike in the back as well. Off the ropes, and a lovely power slam there by Drilla Maloney, who's been quite impressive in this match. I mean, for 2 lads that have never won a match in this universe mode, they've been very good today. And it has come to fruition as we get a victory for Bullet Club War Dogs. The Viking Raiders himself then moved down to a -1 after 8 matches. And Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors move up to a 0 after 2 matches. And then into the singles division, Drilla Maloney with that victory moves back up to a 0 after 2 matches. Clark Connors needed that one massively. He moves up to a -2 after 4 matches. And we see Erik of the War Raiders move down to a -1 after 8. And we see Ivar moving down to a -1 after 8 as well. So there we go, big match there. It really could have gone either way, and it went the way of Bullet Club War Dogs, the 2 young lads showcasing what they can do against a more experienced team. And I sort of would like War Machine to leave WWE because I really think that a return to Ring of Honor would be good for them. I think it would be a nice change for them. And it was a real back and forth match as well. I say it could have gone either way, really. But yeah, War Machine, I'd love to see them back. I just don't know whether, with their age and that, whether they would bother at this point. I mean, how old are Erik and Ivar? Handsome wrestler. Ivar is 41. He's not bad then, actually, at all. I mean, they've easily got another 5 or 6 years in him, at least. So it's all down to whether they would potentially consider that or not. I mean, they're on the main roster. They're former tag team champions. Why would they? They're probably quite happy doing what they're doing, but who knows? The opportunity's there if they ever wanted to come back to Ring of Honor, I suppose, but they might as well just see out their contract with WWE and milk it for as much money as they can. I mean, what are they? They're former two-time WWE Tag Team Champion, one-time Tag Team Champion, and Hanson was also involved in the Speed Championship at one point as well. Well, there we go. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Of course, if you have, hit the like and subscribe with the good stuff, and I'll see you again later on. We've got 6 matches lined up today, potentially more depending on what happened at SmackDown last night. I've got some extra ones I need to upload just to try and milk the views. Up next, so we have the Women's Hardcore #1 Contendership. Thunder Rosa, Dallas, Natsuko Tora, and Mickey Knuckles, all representing one company each. Later on, Minoru Suzuki versus John Moxley in an Underground #1 Contendership match. We'll have Mystico, Commander, Hologram, and Arez in a 4-way elimination match. Brodito versus FTR in a tag team match before the main event of the day. Antonio Inoki going up against Sting. Good night.